Hey friends, welcome to your reading. Today's reading is all about the topic, you are evolving. What are you leaving behind? So if you've been feeling like you're in between versions of yourself, like the old you doesn't quite fit, but you're not fully sure who the new you is yet, then this reading is for you. We are going to look at what you're evolving out of, what is trying to be released, and what soul transformation is waiting on the other side. This is more than a glow up. This is a spiritual metamorphosis. So let's find out what version of you is ending so a new one can begin. Now, if you are new to pick-a-card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do here is you are going to pick the pile or the crystal that you are the most intuitively drawn to. We have pile 1 here with yellow Jasper. We have pile 2 here with Labradorite. We have pile 3 here with blue Apatite, and then we have pile 4 here with Carnelian. Now you can choose one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you, but when you're ready, please go to the description of this video to find the timestamp that is linked to your pile. Then you can skip ahead to your reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I will see you on the other side. Hey pile 1, hey friends, welcome to your reading. So let's talk about what you're leaving behind. We'll talk about any sort of outdated identities or habits, any sort of mindsets or survival patterns that you're leaving behind as you're evolving. So we have the Two of Cups. With the Two of Cups here, I feel like you're leaving behind outdated partnerships, right? So not necessarily romantic, but where the connection required you to shrink or compromise your needs or perform for love. Right? So maybe this once felt like deep intimacy, but it was actually mutual enmeshment or emotional caretaking. So I don't know, some of you here consider yourself like, old people pleasers who went through a breakup. Maybe you used to be the glue in friendships, always mediating drama, ignoring your exhaustion, and now you're no longer willing to be the emotional sponge, right? Like that best friend that you always tiptoed around. I feel like you've quietly begun to detach, and you're starting to realize that love shouldn't require loyalty to pain, right? Maybe some of you here consider yourself a romantic mirror. Maybe you stayed in a relationship because it mirrored your deepest need for validation. And now as you step into more self-worth, the chemistry feels different and not just toxic, but like expired. I don't know if any of you here have ever almost woken up one day and you're like, oh my God, I have been tolerating bad behavior from those around me, and I'm actually worth a lot more, and I'm actually a lot more valuable to myself than I've been giving myself credit for. And you just kind of snap out of it and you're like, oh my God, all these people around me have been treating me like garbage. Why am I entertaining this, right? So it's almost like when you start to work on your own self-esteem, your own self-worth, you start to realize that the things around you maybe aren't, aligned with where you're trying to go. So I just feel like maybe some of you here too are letting go of an old business partnership. Maybe you once had a business partner or a colleague that you leaned on because you didn't trust yourself to lead. And now you see that the dynamic was built on fear and not expansion. So I'm curious, pile 1, who have you outgrown because you started loving yourself better, right? We also have summer, expansion, growth. So you are leaving behind a chapter that looked like growth, but was rooted in proving your worth. This was your hustle era, your do more to be more phase. So we also have summer, expansion, growth. So pile 1, you are leaving behind a chapter that looked like growth, but was rooted in proving your worth. This was your hustle era. This was your do more to be more phase. So maybe some of you here feel like you were on this content grind. Maybe some of you here once believed that success on YouTube meant constant uploads, right? Sacrificing your rest and your intuition. And now you're realizing that real growth is sustainable, not rushed. Maybe some of you here were caught up in that glow up culture, right? Maybe you chased physical or external transformation, the body, the clothes, the photos, but inside maybe you were still tired and feeling disconnected. And so you're now releasing that version of improvement, right? Maybe some of you here felt like you were going through some sort of spiritual overconsumption. Maybe you tried every ritual, every workshop, every healing modality, but none of them landed that deeply. You're leaving behind the need to fix yourself constantly. So pile 1, what for you looked like growth on the outside, but it left you feeling emptier on the inside? Because for example, I have been in that case where during one of my first spiritual awakenings, the spiritual coaching industry was huge. And it's not to say that there aren't beautiful, bright, lights and souls out there that are really doing the good work, but there are also a lot of scammers out there. There are a lot of people who are like, I don't want to say like snake oil salesmen, but they were like promising you the world. It was always like, let's get your 10K month, and it was just so, it was a lot of trend around like the boss bitch era and like all of that stuff, this hustle culture. And I just feel like there are a lot of spiritual gurus out there. There's still a lot of that going on right now, and I just feel like this is a call to remind yourself to always trust your own intuition, trust your own gut, trust your own logic. You are your own master, right? You are your own guru. I think that in these spiritual spaces, we often like give our power away to people who are, you know, spiritually talented or gifted or intuitive, but I just want you to know that you can do all of those things too, like for yourself. You don't need anyone else to be like your soothsayer or like your medium or your I mean, of course, if you trust other people to help you out, of course, that's a different story. But I'm just saying that, like, if anyone's like, you need me for expansion, you need me to upload, like, red flag, don't do that, okay? So even with my content here, I'm like, if like, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You are your own best authority. You are your own best decision maker, right? This is just fun tidbits, a little extra, you know, addition and complement to your life is what I like to think. But yeah, I just always like to, I don't know, I step off of my soapbox now. But anyway, let's talk about what you're awakening into. What sort of new energies or soul gifts are emerging? So we have the 9 of Cups here, and this is fabulous. I feel like you're awakening into a life that doesn't need to be earned, Pile 1. It just needs to be enjoyed. So I feel like you're learning that it's okay to want things just because they feel good, right? And so this is like no more self-denial for you. This is your soft life invitation. So maybe with the 9 of Cups here, you are going to be experiencing this quiet joy. Like you no longer need the big moment to feel fulfilled, or you're noticing the way that your morning coffee tastes better when you're not in a rush, right? That is the magic, Pile 1. I'm also feeling creative ease here. You are letting your creativity flow again, and not just to monetize it, but because either like painting or singing or writing just feels good to you. Maybe even this is like aligned desires, like you stop chasing what others told you would make you happy. Maybe it's a small home in nature over a big city penthouse. Maybe you're choosing what nourishes, not impresses. And, you know, I think that the affirmation for the viewers here is that you do not have to hustle for happiness, right? Like you are already worthy of a life that feels like it's yours. So Pile 1, I feel like you don't have to hustle for happiness here. I feel like you are already worthy of a life that feels like yours, and it already feels luxurious, already feels abundant in spirit, and in so many other ways. So yes, we also have Moonrise here. This one says cleansing. So with this, I feel like you're undergoing an emotional detox. Everything that you're awakening into is lighter, cleaner, softer. So I feel like you're letting go of shame. You're letting go of guilt, you're letting go of ancestral programming, you're sleeping better, you're breathing better, you're breathing deeper is what I'm hearing. So I don't know if any of you here feel like you've been like crying for no reason, maybe like out of nowhere, the tears are coming out, maybe like it's while you're folding laundry or while you're listening to music. And it's not sadness, it's release, right? Or maybe you're having dream rebirths, right? Like your dreams are very vivid right now. Speaking of dreams, I'm recording this under the full moon in Capricorn, the full buck moon. And boy, when I tell you that this is a great day for release, like I just did my release ritual yesterday, it is such a great day. So if you have anyone that like you need to forgive, this could be yourself, other people, situations. If you need any sort of forgiveness at all, working under the full moon would be great. It could be any full moon, but you can double check. And honestly, like I do release rituals even not on the full moon, but I'm just saying that like when the full moon is out, it's even more potent in terms of energy. But yeah, I'm just feeling like vivid dreams. I don't know if like old places or faces or feelings are returning. We're also in a retrograde cycle right now too, or at least in the pre-shadow period. So girl, right. I just feel like, you know, things are coming up. And so this is your soul doing the deep inner work. Maybe this is clearing space in some way. Like maybe you're suddenly cleaning your closet or deleting old photos or redoing your altar. Maybe your physical space is going to reflect your inner cleanse. Like after this, I need to fully clean and cleanse my house because sometimes when we have like that stagnant, chaotic energy in our house, it doesn't really leave like extra room for new abundance and blessings like to flow in. It can, it just is like way easier. You're cleaner and clearer channel when your internal state is clear, clean, cleansed. Same with your external space, your home. And I really do believe that your home is the heartbeat of your life, your soul. It's really kind of like your command. What is that called? Like your command center of your life. And so I am a firm believer that if your space is chaotic or messy or whatever it is, that it can be hard to like achieve that internal sense of peace and clarity. So if this is all resonating so far, Pile 1, and if you've been releasing some sort of emotional baggage lately and you feel like doing this, please drop me a blue heart in the comments just so I know that, you know, this message is resonating with you all. I'm always so curious. But let's talk about the transition bridge. Let's talk about how to integrate. This is really the now what moment, right? So what habits or rituals or mindset shifts will help your evolution? So we have the 5 of Cups in reverse here, and with this, you are learning how to shift focus. So what was once a story of regret for you is now going to be one of resilience. You're no longer obsessing over what was lost. You're becoming curious about what still is. So maybe some of you here are healing the inner critic, right? You stop replaying the time when you failed and you start remembering how brave you were to even try. Maybe some of you here are releasing mother wounds, right? Maybe you've grieved what your caregiver couldn't give you, and now you're giving it to yourself and maybe even to your children. Maybe this is even like divine detours, right? Like you didn't get the job, you didn't, get that one relationship that you thought you wanted. Maybe you didn't like get your offer accepted on that one house that you put an offer in on, but now you're seeing that life has protected you from settling or protected you from the things that weren't in alignment with your higher self and where you're going, right? Like how many of us can look back and be like, thank God I'm not crying over that ex-boyfriend anymore. Scary, dusty, like, you know what I mean? Like, or thank God I got rejected from that one job because I heard that everybody who works in that department hates their life. That kind of thing, right? So I feel like a ritual tip for you here could be like create a what I still have jar, and you add 1 sticky note a day for 30 days with something that you're grateful for, right? Like for me, like when I had to let go of some toxic friendships, especially when I like was stepping into my like parenthood era and like I couldn't do that like crazy like college party girl like scene anymore. Oh my gosh, I had to like release friends who didn't get it or who were low-key, I don't want to like say secret haters, because like I saw this one TikTok and it was like fabulous. It was like, let's stop pretending like we have haters and let's just start seeing things for what it is. Like these people who are hating on us or projecting things towards us, they are like wounded souls. They're going through whatever it is that they're going through and they're projecting their own shiz onto you, right? So it's like nothing personal, even though it feels very personal and annoying, and I don't like that either, but I just feel like when we start to realize that other people's junks that they throw at us, like it has nothing to do with us and so much more to do with them. Oh, it's so incredibly freeing, right? So yeah, maybe create a what I still have jar. We also have the second bloom, a second chance, it's never too late, new possibilities. I love this. I really feel like so many people have been on this precipice of making a major life change. I feel like this is your resurrection era, Pile 1. What you thought you lost forever is returning in a better, bolder form, right? Love, confidence, clarity, creativity, belonging. Maybe this is like a career pivot that worked for you. Like you thought you were too late to start a new career and you took that leap anyway and it's working. Or maybe this is you experiencing love after heartbreak, right? Like you swore you'd never open your heart again. You'd never love anybody like you love that one person. But here you are, more tender, more discerning, more magnetic, right? I have a friend right now that's going through a pretty bad breakup. And she's been with this person for a super long time. And, she keeps going through these cycles of like, okay, I'm good. I think I'm over it. I'm moving on. And then she feels like she gets pulled back into the cycle, right? She breaks the no contact or whatever it is, or he breaks the no contact and they're both back, whatever, like, and then it falls apart again. It's back and forth, right? And it's just gut wrenching. And I was telling her that like, you have to like, okay, obviously hold space for your emotions. If you're sad, you're sad. If you feel it, but when you're ready to start kind of changing your perspective on it, you have to start reminding yourself of like, there are so many possibilities and miracles on the other side of that door. Once I shut this door behind me and I walk through the threshold into another space, you have no idea what kind of beautiful people, experiences, opportunities are waiting for you on the other side of making this decision, which is choosing yourself, right? It's choosing yourself, returning to yourself over and over and over again. So I just feel like, maybe, well, I'm also feeling for some of you here, for those of you who are mothers or parents, this is like motherhood or parenthood reimagined. Like maybe you once felt like you messed up early motherhood, right? But now you're more present, you're more grounded, and you're seeing your kids light up in your presence. And there's just a lot of beautiful healing energy I feel here. So I just want to remind you, Pile 1, that it's never too late to return to the version of you who still believes in that magic. So let's get a message from future you. What does the next version of yourself want you to know right now? So we have the Page of Wands in reverse here. Future you here is reminding you to stop waiting for permission to experiment or to start over or to look silly. I feel like you've been holding back your inner fire because you've been burned before, right? But guess what? Now you're fireproof. Maybe some of you here are scared to start that channel or that book or that art again. Maybe you feel like you've failed in the past, right? Have you gotten no engagement or low engagement before? But future you says, keep playing, right? Like I remember when I first uploaded my first YouTube video, I probably got like 3 views on it or like 5 views on it. And I worked so hard on that video and I was so bummed and I was like, this is a reflection of my worth. And I was just so like, right? Because it's when you create from your heart, it's that much closer to you. And so when you feel like it's not received or accepted or whatever, like it's tough. We're humans. But this is your sign to like not let that like inner teenager within you die, right? Like maybe as a teenager, as a kid, you used to dance wildly or like write fan fiction or sing in the shower. And so you're invited to bring that version back with pride. Like when I was a kid, I would write like fantasy novels, right? Like very like Narnia-esque. And I kept that close to myself because I was like, if I tell my classmates, they're gonna think I'm nuts. But that was what was in me, right? That was what needed to be expressed. And if I could like pick up a pen and go ahead and write like a Narnia-esque novel again, shoot, we may not be sitting here right now talking. Just kidding. But anyway, I'm just saying that like it's time for you to allow yourself to do the things that you want to do. Allow yourself to start something new, right? It's okay to be cringy. There's no such thing as cringy. And if the person's telling you it's cringe, they're cringe. I'm just kidding. We're feeling testy today. We're feeling like the full moon in Capricorn is, and it's funny, I have my Lilith in Capricorn and a stellium in Capricorn, so sometimes we get spicy here. But anyway, I just want to know that like, if you're afraid of being judged, it is absolutely okay. It's something that every single human deals with, whether they like to admit it or not. And so future you is cheering you on from the other side of success, Pile 1. Okay, so I feel like a good mantra for you to have here is like, I can be a beginner again. I don't have to be perfect to be powerful, you know? We also have Moonshroom, healing old brain patterns. So Pile 1, you're not just changing habits, but you're rewriting neural pathways. I think the old you lived in survival mode and the new version of you trusts the process. So I think that you're going to pause before people pleasing, right? Like before saying yes, you're going to ask yourself, do I really want to, right? Maybe some of you here are going to be rewiring the scarcity mindset. So instead of bracing for disappointment, now you expect synchronicity. Or maybe this is like slower living and having this new identity where you no longer rush and your nervous system is learning that rest is safe, right? So maybe some of you here are going to be starting your day by saying, I am safe to do things differently. Let's get any final messages from, I want to pull from the Everyday Witches Familiar's Oracle. I've been seeing a lot of spirit animal totems. I don't know if you guys have, but this is a newer deck that I picked up on a recent family vacation. It was fabulous. My husband took my kids to a cute little like pet cafe, and I got to go peruse a bookstore. Girl, it was fabulous. Okay, so what else does Pile 1 need to know? We can also get more book from our animal, we can also get more info from our animal power book, but I'll probably just open up the guidebook and read from there. I don't usually do that on my channel, but with newer decks, sometimes I'm like, let's get the Let's get the tea. Okay, so pile 1. Okay, ooh. There is no doubt that you're getting wolf energy during the full moon and Capricorn energy here. Full moon release vibes. Full moon in the background. This could be an animal spirit that you want to work with as you're evolving, as you're releasing things. So first thing says, people have the idea that lone wolves are strong and independent, but in nature, wolves tend to do better when they have a pack. Humans have their packs too. Sometimes they are friends or family. For witches, their pack may be their coven. Even if you are a solitary witch, the pagan community is your pack. As strong as we may be alone, when we come together, we can be even stronger. Okay, so it says this card may be telling you to seek out your pack, the people who make you feel stronger and bring out the best in you. If you're feeling lost or unhappy, maybe those you are spending time with are not your true pack. Maybe you need to spend a little time as a lone wolf before you are ready to find the right pack for you. So the message here is that the wolf may be trying to tell you to let out your wild side, howl at the moon, run over the hilltops, and be completely present in your skin. Run with your pack and howl together. After all, that's what packs are for. I love that. So thank you so much, friends. Please let me know below what you're ready to leave behind in the comments as you step into your next era. If you're feeling the vibes of the wolf energy with the full moon release, drop me a wolf emoji in the comments too. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so we can keep manifesting together every week here at Tidal Tarot. If you want to go deeper, check out my other pick-a-card readings on dream careers, money breakthroughs, and your next level self. They're all on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. And you can also listen to my show that's linked below, the That's Deep podcast, where I share how to co-create your dream life through personal growth and spiritual wisdom. And if you're into crystals or pretty things to support your shift, my online shop is linked below for you too. I'm sending you so much love. Bye, Tidal fam, and I will see you on the next video. Love y'all. Hey pile 2, hey friends, welcome to your reading. So let's talk about what you're leaving behind, any sort of outdated identities, habits, mindsets, or survival patterns. We have the Queen of Swords here. And so with the Queen of Swords, I feel like you are outgrowing the role of the emotionally intelligent, always logical leader who has it all figured it out, right? This was your survival pattern, having this sharp mind, and maybe you felt like you had to close your heart off, right? Maybe you were praised for your clarity and your composure, but beneath there was a wellspring of feelings and maybe some grief in there too, right? There is a need to be understood, a longing to soften, and you're no longer willing to live in your head just to feel safe. So pile 2, I'm wondering if you were the wise one in the family, right? Like you were always the calm, rational one in a chaotic family. Maybe you became the advice giver, the one who didn't cry or the one who always knew better, right? But now you're starting to let yourself feel, even if it's messy. Or maybe some of you here are the emotionally guarded partner where, you've mastered boundaries, but love requires vulnerability, and you're learning that you don't have to hide behind logic to be safe. Maybe some of you here consider yourself to be like the self-sufficient woman or the self-sufficient man or the self-sufficient person, right? Like maybe you're somebody who never asks for help. Maybe you're somebody who's built a fortress of independence, but it's lonely in there, and you're realizing that needing others doesn't make you weak. So pile 2, what part of you became sharp to protect something soft within you, right? We also have Sage. This one says wisdom, purification, and harmony. So pile 2, you are leaving behind knowledge that was rooted in survival, right? So your wisdom once came from staying vigilant, seeing through people, staying ahead of pain, but now you're purifying. Now you're letting go of trauma-informed hyper awareness, and you're ready to feel safe in your body, not just smart in your mind, right? So for example, maybe this is you cleansing your intellect. Like you used to pride yourself on being the one who could spot red flags first, and now you're realizing that not everything needs to be analyzed, and some things are meant to be experienced. Maybe some of you here consider yourself to be like a spiritual minimalist. Maybe you're letting go of the need to cleanse and fix everything constantly. Maybe you're starting to trust that your energy here isn't broken, it's evolving. Maybe some of you here are moving from hypervigilance to harmony, right? Like maybe you used to prepare for the worst and now you're learning to expect peace. So what part of your wisdom is actually a wound in disguise? So next, let's talk about what you're awakening into. Let's talk about any sort of new energies or soul gifts that are emerging. We have the 10 of Wands in reverse here. And so with this pile 2, I feel like you're finally setting down the load. And I have like a big smile on my face as I'm saying that. You're gonna be so pleased when you finally set down the load. I feel like you've carried the emotional weight of so many, right? Family, clients, friends, even society. And so with the 10 of Wands in reverse here, your soul is saying that you were never meant to carry all of this. Like truly, you are awakening into lightness, and you are awakening into things like delegation and softness. So I feel like some of you here could be like the burnt out mentor, right? You've always been the one that people run to, and now you're setting boundaries and you're finally letting somebody hold you. I feel like this is you not having to prove that you're strong anymore. You're done equating your worth with how much you can handle, and rest is going to be your revolution. Maybe some of you here are mothers who are carrying everything, right? Or parents who are carrying everything, or caregivers who are carrying everything emotionally, physically, spiritually, right? For those of you who are parents, maybe you are learning that your children and your inner child need you at ease, right? Not just efficient. Maybe you're realizing that you're a better person when you're at peace and when you're not dealing with the BS of other people and other situations that aren't yours to carry. You have more space and room to be that you know you are at your heart, that you know that your children deserve to see you in, right? So that's just one example. I just feel like pile 2, no matter what your situation is here, you are allowed to feel light and you don't have to prove that you can carry it all. I love that we have moon cycles support here on the heels of that, because you are being awakened into interdependence. You're craving spiritual intimacy, whether this is soul friends, safe spaces, sacred circles where you can be witnessed, right? This is you stopping that, like, right? No more strong friend syndrome. You are no longer called to be the quiet observer, and you are being invited to be held. So maybe this is like a spiritual sisterhood, right? Maybe you join or you create a moon circle or an online space where you don't have to be the teacher, but you just get to be. Maybe some of you here are working on letting others in, right? Like you text someone when you're struggling instead of dealing with it alone, and it feels awkward at first, but it also feels healing. Are gonna set up support systems as magic. Like you realize that consistent support like therapy or community or childcare or even meal prep is not a luxury, it's medicine. I'm also hearing like some of you here are gonna like freshen up the circles, your close circles is what I'm hearing. So like if you have a therapist that you've been wanting to fire, this could be your sign. Fire him, get a new one. Like if some of you here are like, that one friend has been like a hater the whole time and I've just been tolerating them because I've known them since 7th grade, we're done. Like this is you realizing your own magic and putting down some of that weight that you've been carrying. So remind yourself, pile 2, it is safe to be supported and that you are not alone in this evolution. Let's talk about the transition bridge. Let's talk about how to integrate. This is the now what moment for you. What sort of habits or rituals or mindset shifts are going to help your evolution? So we have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse here. With this, I feel like you've been waiting for others to validate your blueprint. You've doubted your instincts, your timing, your path. But the 3 of Pentacles in reverse here says to stop waiting for cosigns, right? Start building. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need self-trust and a first step. Maybe some of you here are DIY soulpreneurs, right? Like you've been scared to launch your healing business or your podcast or your offering because you don't have a team or a strategy. But Spirit is saying, start where you are, right? Maybe some of you here are caught up in like the overthinker's trap and you keep reworking the plan or waiting for perfection. And now you're realizing that momentum creates clarity. Maybe some of you here are releasing the need to be seen first, right? Like you don't need an applause to begin. You begin because the vision is yours to birth. I feel like, okay, here's a quick ritual tip for you guys. Every day this week, take one action from your soul's blueprint, even if it's invisible to others. So say you love reading tarot cards, you love doing pick-a-card readings, put a reading out there this week, right? Say you love sharing witchy tips on TikTok, do that. Say that you love working on your garden and tending to your actual physical garden outside, do that, right? Whatever it is that is gonna light you up, take that one action, okay? You will be pleasantly surprised at what blooms later on. I love that we also have codes of seeds here. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step. Pile 2, I feel like you're remembering that your soul came here with instructions, right? You don't need a 12-step plan or somebody else's model of success. Your next step is already encoded in your body. So I feel like your path is your own, right? Maybe you are the intuitive builder. Like, you don't know the final product, but the next step is obvious, so you take it. Maybe this is you living cyclically, right? Like, you stop planning for a 5-year goal and instead you work with your menstrual cycle or the moon phases or emotional waves. This is you channeling versus strategizing. So maybe you receive your next move in meditation or a walk in nature and it works better than your to-do list, right? So pile 2, your intuition is not a suggestion, it's your divine GPS. Trust it. So let's get some messages from future you. What does your next version of you want you to know right now? So we have the 6 of Discs in reverse here. This is the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So future you wants you to stop overgiving, pile 2. Future you wants you to realize that, especially when it leaves you feeling like resentful or depleted, you've got to stop the overgiving, right? So you're being asked to practice radical self-nurturing, and this is not just bubble baths, this is deep nervous system restoration, right? So future you is going to thrive because you chose balance. So maybe for some of you, this is the overgiver's recovery, right? Like, you used to give advice or time or energy or money, and now you're learning to ask, have I given to myself today first? Maybe some of you here are healing mother guilt. Maybe some of you here are realizing that you don't have to sacrifice your joy to be a good parent, and your children are going to learn from how you love yourself. Maybe for some of you here, you want to balance spiritual service with self-care, right? Like, you're a light worker, you're a healer, you're a coach, but you're done burning out trying to save everyone, right? Because you matter too. Your reminder here is that you refill your own cup first, not out of selfishness, but out of sacred responsibility. I love that we also have nurture here. All of the cards are very connected here, which I love. I mean, they always are, but like, these messages are just like super clear in your face. Like, yeah, take care of yourself, nurture, self-care. So nurture, give yourself love, care, and encouragement. So I feel like you're learning how to mother yourself, to speak gently, to rest before exhaustion. So pile 2, you are learning how to mother yourself, right? You're learning how to speak gently, how to rest before exhaustion, you know, how to celebrate tiny wins. And this is how you create a new normal, one where your inner child is safe and your adult self is supported. So maybe for some of you here, you have a morning ritual. It's really important. Like, you start your day not with your phone, but with a warm drink or a moment of breath and a reminder that you matter. Maybe some of you here are reparenting the overachiever in you. Like, maybe you no longer force productivity when your body says no, and you rest and you trust that the work will be better after. Maybe for some of you here, you speak soft words only, right? Like, you catch yourself about to criticize your reflection and instead you whisper, we're doing the best that we can and this is enough, right? So I feel like it would be really important for you to create like a nurture list, right? So 5 tiny things that make you feel safe or seen or loved, and then do one of those per day. Now, I also want to pull some Witch's Wisdom of the Familiars. I think it's called, I think that's what it's called. Oh, Everyday Witch's Familiar Oracle is what it's called. I'll have it linked for you below in the description as well, but let's find out if there's any sort of spirit animal totems that, or spirit animals that would be helpful to work with during this evolution of yours. So we have Bat here. This is a fairly new deck, so I'm going to read from the guidebook here, but with Bat Spirit. So it says, truly magical, bats are the only mammals able to achieve actual flight, and they are more agile in the air than most birds. Bats are nocturnal creatures. So truly magical, bats are the only mammals able to achieve actual flight, and they are more agile in the air than most birds. Bats are nocturnal creatures of the night, which may be one of the reasons that some cultures associate them with the liminal borders between day and night, life and death, and the world of dreams in particular. Bats can act as protectors as you sleep, guiding you through dream states and guarding you from nightmares. So this card may be a hint to pay more attention to your dreams. Repeated images may be trying to tell you something, whether it be guidance or a warning or simply a reflection of an issue, of some issue preying on your mind. If you can figure out what that is, you might sleep better or even be able to fix a problem you might not have been aware of. Dreams are important as they can help us process things on a subconscious level. You can practice lucid dreaming to control your dreams and make them work for you in a purposeful way. It might also be some time to do some dream magic, like putting a dream charm bag under your pillow to dream of your true love or the best path to take. Dreams are a part of your magical journey. Perhaps it's time to channel your inner bat and fly through the night. So yes. Thank you so much, friends. Let me know below what you're ready to leave behind in the comments as you step into your new era. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so we can keep manifesting together every week here at Tidal Tarot. If you want to go deeper, check out my other pick-a-card readings on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. I've got a bunch of more pick-a-card readings on dream careers, money breakthroughs, and your next level self. You can also listen to my podcast, the That's Deep podcast, where I share how to co-create your dream life through personal growth and spiritual wisdom. And if you're into crystals or pretty things to support your shift, my online shop is linked below for you too. Sending you so much love, Tidal family. I will see you on the next video. Bye. Hey Pile 3, hey friends, welcome to your reading. Let's talk about what you are leaving behind, any sort of outdated identities, habits, mindsets, or survival patterns. We have the moon in reverse here, and so with the moon reversed here, this is the moment where the fog clears. And what you thought was protecting you may have turned out to be an illusion. So you're releasing fear-based narratives, things like hidden shame, emotional confusion that once felt normal to you. The moon reversed reveals what was always there, but what was hidden, right? So maybe this is your intuition or your truth or your power. So maybe, for example, some of you here had like a false identity, right? Like maybe you've lived most of your life being what others needed you to be, whether this is adaptable or agreeable or quiet, and now the mask is slipping and you're not afraid anymore. Maybe some of you here are working through ancestral fear patterns. Maybe you grew up believing that it wasn't safe to speak up or to trust people or to relax. And so you're breaking that programming, even if it feels uncomfortable. I really think that this is you escaping that spiritual fog. I don't know if any of you here felt like you were lost in bypassing, thinking that love and light would fix everything, but you're learning that real healing starts in the shadows. So, Pile 3, what fears no longer feel like yours to carry? Okay, that would be a great, I'm recording this under the full moon right now, and so if you are doing any sort of like full moon release ritual or anything like that, it would be important to think about what fears of yours no longer feel like yours to carry. Okay, so this could be fears of your mother being like, oh my gosh, we have to hustle, we're gonna run out of all of our money. Like, if that's what you grew up around and you want to release that, it is absolutely okay, right? You are allowed to have your own mindset around money. You're allowed to have your own mindset around the way that you want to live your life. So yeah, what's no longer yours to carry? We also have butterfly. This one says transformation, joy, beauty, and transience. So Pile 3, you are releasing the belief that transformation has to be permanent or perfect or linear. You're actually saying goodbye to the part of you that resisted change or that feared endings or, or clung to old skins because they were familiar. So maybe this was like the clinging phase, right? Like you resisted an ending, whether this was a breakup or a job loss or a move or a career shift, until you realized that it was actually setting you free. Or maybe some of you here are letting go of the pretty cage that you were in, right? Like maybe you were in a life that looked good on the outside, but it was crushing your spirit. And so you're choosing freedom over appearances. And boy, that is so much of my story. So if any of you ever have questions, you let me know. But yeah, this is all about trusting seasons, right? So like maybe you used to believe that happiness had to last forever to be real. And now you're finding joy even in fleeting moments, right? And you're knowing that nothing is wasted here. So let's talk about what you're awakening into. Let's talk about any sort of new energies or soul gifts that are emerging. We have the Death card here. So this symbolizes transformation. You're not just ending a chapter, but you're burying an entire era, Pile 3. So what rises from this sacred death is the real you. I feel like this is the unfiltered, powerful, unapologetic you, and you are awakening into presence and power and purpose and a new life that's going to be forged through fire. Like I keep hearing your energy ain't nothing to with, you know what I mean? It ain't nothing to mess with. Like you have seen the, what is that? Like the dark side of things. You've seen like, I keep hearing Red Hot Chili Pepper, Under the Bridge, that song. It's like you've seen things that most of like humanity probably doesn't need to see or probably doesn't need to go through. and you still are here. You're still standing, you're still resilient. So your energy ain't nothing to mess with, is what I'm feeling. So I really feel like maybe some of you here are going to be going through an ego death, right? Like you're going to let go of being the reliable one or the strong one or the overachiever. And now you're asking, who am I if I'm just me? Right? Maybe some of you here are going to be going through a rebirth through grief. Maybe some of you here have recently lost someone or something or some version of yourself, and that grief cracked you open, and now life feels more honest. Right? This is the energy of like, you can't go back. Like something ended, whether this is a job or a belief or a habit or a role. And for the first time, you're not trying to fix it. You're walking forward. So pile 3, maybe a good affirmation for you would be, I release what no longer serves me, not in pain, but in power. Right? So I release what no longer serves me, not in pain, but in power. We also have the moon's moment, synchronicity. So you are awakening into a reality where the universe speaks to you, right? Angel numbers, perfect songs, unexpected invitations. This is alignment, pile 3, right? The signs aren't just cute, they're instructions, and you're living in your divine timing now. So maybe some of you here get the car radio message, right? Maybe you were questioning a decision and then suddenly the lyrics or a stranger's words answered it exactly. Like I know when I'm going through it, I just need to like sit back and relax. Sometimes like the children's movies that are on that my kids are watching, there'll be a line or some sort of theme in the movie and I'm like red to filth, and then I'm like sobbing on the couch in the background. They're like, what is going on? I'm just like, don't worry about me. I'm just intuiting things. So yeah, I don't know if some of you here have been seeing angel numbers 1111, 1111 and beyond. I just feel like you're not imagining it. These repeating numbers are part of your soul's language. You're becoming fluent in your own signs, right? This is you following the breadcrumbs. Maybe you said yes to something small, like a course or a message or a DM, and it cracked open the next level of your journey. This is so exciting. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about the transition bridge. Let's talk about how to integrate, because this is the now what moment, right? What sort of habits or rituals or mindset shifts will help you through this evolution? We have Justice here. She's one of my favorite cards in the deck. This is your clean slate moment. This is not the fantasy kind. This is the card that asks you to own your part in what you're leaving behind. Not to shame yourself, but to actually go ahead and reclaim your power. So you're not integrating this transformation by choosing truth over comfort. You are choosing soul alignment over approval. So maybe this is you like having this accountability shift where you stop blaming other people for the life that you feel stuck in, right? And you ask yourself what you're ready to change. Like, for example, maybe you are still living with parents, right? And at one point in time, this was a great idea, and now you're just like, I have no space, no boundaries, no autonomy. I'm a full-blown adult, and I still feel like I'm living like as a child in this house, right? This is you asking yourself, what can I do to co-create a different life for myself? Well, hey, maybe you start perusing Indeed.com or whatever job posting site you're looking through. You find this new position that actually makes sense for you and works out. It's in this city that you've always wanted to live in. And now you find some sort of apartment where, you can easily fund your life with your awesome job in this cool high rise in downtown, whatever it is, right? Like, I just feel like you never know what making that like one change or that one decision, that one drastic life change will, like, you don't know where that's going to lead you, right? So maybe some of you here are going to be speaking the hard truth, right? Like you had the conversation or you set the boundary or you spoke the truth and it hurt, but it healed. This is you living in integrity, pile 3. Like you no longer perform or hide to fit in, even if it costs you relationships, right? It earns you peace. So here's a quick ritual tip. For any of you here who want to do this, you could light a candle and speak a truth that you've been afraid to say, even if it's just to yourself. Bonus tip if you put it on a blue candle, my friends. Yes. Okay. We also have the Holy Grail. This one says, stop the endless searching, inner quest. So with this, I feel like you've spent years looking for the answer, right? In books, in mentors, downloads, relationships, whatever it is. And now you're realizing that the answer is within, right? The search is over. The quest is now an integration. So maybe this is you retiring this whole like fix me mentality. Like you're done bouncing from course to course, coach to coach, or healer to healer, or medium to medium, right? Or reader to reader, or from tarot pick a card reading to tarot pick a card reading, and you're becoming your own sacred guide, right? This is like no more guru syndrome. Like maybe you used to believe someone else had your magic formula, and now you're learning to listen to your own inner voice over external noise. Like for example, I have always been drawn to mediumship, and I always thought like I had to like learn from somebody else like before I did it myself, and like I was going to the wrong people, and like there were people gatekeeping like things that were related to my own culture, not necessarily theirs. So there are wacky, just so that they're weirdos on the internet. So be careful, be discerning, right? It's not to scare you, but I'm just saying like you are so much more powerful and intuitive than you actually give yourself credit for. You actually know what you need to do. You have the answers inside of you. It's not outside of yourself. There is not another person who is more powerful or more all-seeing or knowing than you. So I feel like this is your call to really just like have your inner oracle awaken for yourself. Pull your own cards, hear your own truth, and stop outsourcing your power, right? So what are you ready to stop chasing, pile 3, so that you can fully start embodying whatever it is that you've been dying to do? No pun intended with the death card. Okay, anyway. This does not mean literal death. It just means transformation. I love to like demystify all the scary cards in the tarot, and they're not scary. But if you guys ever have questions on other ones, like I want to know what the devil means, or I want to know what the moon means, or whatever, all the like ones that people are, you know, put stigma around, I'm here to demystify and debunk those myths, because every card serves a purpose in this whole journey. Anywho, so let's talk about any sort of messages from future you. What does your next version want you to know right now? We have Temperance in reverse here. So future you says that you are not behind, pile 3. You are just learning to flow. I feel like you've rushed your healing before, or you tried to balance everything perfectly, and now you're learning to move at a pace of grace. So this is sacred imbalance, right? This is the mess before the mastery. So for example, maybe some of you here have had the urge to fix it fast, right? Like you're used to fixing everything overnight, but your future self wants you to know that some things are meant to unfold slowly. Maybe you want to stop measuring progress, right? Like you don't always feel better every day, and that doesn't mean that you're failing. This is about recognizing the magic in the middle. I feel like many of you here are between identities or relationships or purposes, and your future self is saying to stay here and to trust the becoming, right? Trust the in-between, and know that you don't need to fully be healed to be whole, is what I'm hearing strongly here. So we also have Moon Path here, taking the next step. Oops. Moon Path, taking the next right step. So this isn't about a 5-year plan. It's about the next breath, right? It's about the next honest conversation, or the next yes. Your future self isn't asking you to leap, pile 3. Your future self is just asking you to move a bit, right? The path is going to light up as you walk it. So maybe this is some of you here like making some sort of gentle pivot. Like you're not quitting your whole life, you're adjusting the dial. You're changing one thing today that brings more peace, right? Maybe this is you getting one sacred yes. Like you say yes to something small, a class, a yoga class, a bar class, whatever it is, a painting class. I don't want to give too many examples because people have so many different interests here. So I don't want to like, I want the message to be like, do the one thing that you love to do, right? Take that trip, take that phone call. And I think that this is going to change everything. I also feel like maybe this is you living by moonlight, right? Like you don't need to see the whole staircase. I'm hearing that one illuminated step. I'm hearing that one illuminated step is enough. So I feel like it would be important, pile 3, to ask yourself each morning, what is my next right step today, right? What is that next right step that's not perfect, but it's true to you? What is something that I can do, right? So if you love writing poetry, maybe you start writing in your morning pages every day, or maybe you just start writing poems. I keep feeling like the energy of like, just go do that. You want to create a YouTube channel, go do it. You want to be a singer, go do it. You want to leave that job and that shitty partner that you have, then do it, right? Like and it's easier said than done, but I keep feeling this urge from spirit, like whatever you want to do, like just do it. You don't even have to like practice or like do the preliminary anything. You are ready. Just do it. Just do it. Anyway, my 90s babies triggered by that. Just kidding. Okay. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway. So let's get some more info from our Everyday Witches Familiars Oracle cards. It's a new deck. So we have Dragonfly. I love this. Butterflies symbolize transformation. Dragonflies symbolize transformation. The Death card symbolizes transformation. So, transformation, evolution, absolutely. Let's figure out. Okay, so I'm gonna read from the guidebook. I mean, it's a new deck that I got on vacation recently, and I'm just thrilled with this deck. I love spirit animal guides. Okay. The iridescent dragonfly appears to be ethereal and enchanted, nearly fantastical, making it the perfect representation of air magic. Its transparent wings move so rapidly they can barely be seen, and yet they travel vast distances, even over an entire ocean, despite their seeming fragility. Like the air itself, they move in every direction, almost too fast to be seen, both delicate and powerful at the same time. If you need an animal to help you connect with the element of the air, try working with the beautiful and magical dragonfly. This card may bring you the gift of lightness or of spirit, or a hint that it is time to work with the magic of air. It might predict swift travel or winds of change. It could serve as a reminder that no matter how weak or fragile you feel, you are strong enough to survive the storms that life throws at you. Like the air, magic is everywhere around you. It might be easier to grasp earth or play with water or fire, but air is vital, powerful, and, like the dainty dragonfly, much stronger than it seems. Reach inside for your own inner strength, or use some air magic to help you find your way. Oh my gosh, I just got this image in my head of like kite surfers. So yesterday I went to the beach with my family, and we were just, of course, like enamored with the ocean. As always, we love it. It's full moon energy right now, so being in the ocean is a great time during the full moon, for releasing things, for cleansing and all that kind of stuff. But it was super windy yesterday, and we were watching some kite surfers go by, and we were kind of like, it's too windy, it's too cold. I didn't think about how cleansing the wind is. Like sometimes I'm just like, energy of the air, energy of the wind, please cleanse anything that's no longer serving my highest and best good, and please bring in, you know, opportunities, miracles, blessings, those kinds of things. So spirit of the air is very, very important to work with. Yes. Thank you so much, friends. Let me know below what you're ready to leave behind in the comments as you step into your next era. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so we can keep manifesting together here every week at Tidal Tarot. And if you want to go deeper, check out my other pick-a-card readings on dream careers, money breakthroughs, and your next level self. They're all on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. You can also listen to my show linked below, the That's Deep podcast, where I show how to co-create your dream life through personal growth and spiritual wisdom. If you're into crystals or pretty things to support your shift, my online shop is also linked for you below. I'm sending you so much love, Tidal Tribe. I will see you on the next video. Love y'all. Bye. Hey Pile 4, hey friends. Just a quick disclaimer, it's raining, so if you hear some rain in the background, it's just rain, and I consider it to be a blessing in terms of like spiritual signs. So, hey, abundance is pouring in, a new start, a fresh beginning. Let's dive in. So Pile 4, let's talk about what you're leaving behind. Are there any outdated identities, habits, or mindsets, or survival patterns that you're releasing as you step into this evolution? We have the star in reverse here. So Pile 4, you are releasing the version of you that stopped dreaming because it felt too painful to want. I wonder if some of you here have felt disconnected from faith, maybe because life has let you down once upon a time. Maybe because of that you stopped asking for more, or you settled, but deep down your soul never gave up, and now it's time to believe again, right? So I keep hearing like dream deferred. Like maybe some of you here wanted to be an artist or a healer or a creator, but you buried it deep under realistic goals. And now you're digging it back up, right? Like I remember, I have a lot of Venusian energy in my birth chart. And I didn't know that before, but coming out of high school, I was like, I want to be a hairdresser. Like I want to be a hairdresser so bad. I want to do hair, makeup. Like I wanted to make people feel beautiful. And I was told, my family, like they were well-meaning, right? Like they meant well. They were just operating out of their own, you know, experience, and whatever scarcity or whatever sort of lack patterns that they were in, they were trying to help me to avoid those things, right? But with that, I think they projected a lot of their own kind of like what was realistic for work or what made a lot of money or whatever it is. So they were like, no, please go get a regular job. Go be a dentist, go be a lawyer, you know, go be a physician, something like that. And so that was the path that I took. I took a very clinical path to start. And I always, you know, found my way back to my creativity, right? My self-expression. So what I'm saying is that this is you finally taking a chance on something that you love to do. Maybe it didn't make sense to other people, but this is you actually giving yourself permission to love what you love. I wonder if for some of you here, you felt a bit like spiritually disillusioned in a sense, like you followed all of the right practices, but then you still felt empty. So I feel like you're leaving behind the idea that your magic is still outside of you, because it's not, right? It's within you. I don't know if some of you here too have like been going through some sort of quiet suffering, like maybe you appeared calm or even successful, but inside you feel numb, right? And so now you're choosing aliveness over appearances. So I'm curious, pile 4, what dream did you dim to stay safe? I think that there are so many of us here that have dimmed a lot of our dreams out of fears or doing what's practical or doing what would, you know, help us to survive. And so, yeah, what dream of yours did you dim to stay safe, pile 4? We also have soil, stability, simplicity. So I feel like some of you here probably once chose the most stable or grounded path, like we spoke about earlier, and not because it lit you up, but because it was familiar or safe, right? Like maybe it was the job that paid the bills, or the partner who wasn't your soulmate, or the life that didn't scare anyone, but now you're being called to leave behind the identity of being low maintenance or agreeable or overly practical. So maybe some of you here are releasing the whole like, I'll just be grateful syndrome, right? Like maybe you told yourself that you should just be grateful for what you had, even if it didn't fit your soul, right? Like I remember as a kid, I would be like, oh, like things aren't feeling right. Like I don't feel like my mental and emotional like being is being treated in the best way. But I'm not being physically starved, or I'm not like being physically like harmed. So, you know, like I should just be grateful. And it's like mental and emotional abuse are abuse as well. Like not cool, right? So this is you like releasing any sort of thing that you made excuses for. Maybe some of you here are releasing the settled life, right? Like maybe you designed a life based on what made sense, but it never felt like you. And so now you're choosing desire over duty now, right? So I keep hearing like earthbound, not embodied. Like you maybe stayed grounded by staying small, but really true embodiment includes fire. It includes pleasure, power, and you're reclaiming it. So I'm curious, pile 4, what part of your stable life was secretly holding you back? So let's talk about what you're awakening into. Let's talk about any sort of new energies or soul gifts that are emerging. We have the Queen of Wands here, and this is that fire that I was talking about, pile 4. So I feel like with this, you are no longer afraid of being seen. You're awakening into a version of yourself that's warm, that's wild, that's radiant, and maybe a little bit untamed. So this is you embodying your magnetism, not just physical, but energetic, right? The Queen of Wands doesn't chase, she creates, she attracts, and she really just takes up space unapologetically. So I feel like for some of you here, you're just gonna launch it anyway, right? That offer, the YouTube channel, the dance class, the tarot reading that you've been sitting on, you stop waiting to feel ready and you're just gonna start. I keep hearing too like hot girl energy with depth. Like maybe you're showing up more visibly online or in real life, and not for validation, but because you're no longer afraid of your own brilliance, right? Or maybe like the wild creative is going to return within you, right? Like maybe your passion was buried under practicality, and now you're painting or writing or dancing because you remember who you are. So this is your reminder, pile 4, do not shrink, shine, right? Because that is sacred. So you can even make it into an affirmation. I do not shrink, I shine, and that is sacred. We also have new moon beginnings. So pile 4, this is super exciting. You are entering a brand new cycle. The soil is clear. You're planting seeds not out of desperation, but through alignment, right? Like you no longer manifest from need, but you're manifesting from truth. So I feel like this new moon energy, it's about this quiet intention. It's about this powerful momentum, right? So maybe you light a candle or you write your vision and you whisper it into the night, and not because it's trendy, but because you believe it again. Maybe some of you here have this new creative cycle where you scrap the old content plan or the old business model or the routine, and you start fresh with what excites your spirit. Like for some of you here, go back on my channel page, go to look up Tidal Tarot channel page, and then go back to like my old readings. You will see there that I was still trying to find my way with content. So it was just like all over the place. Like I would do some love readings, I would do some career, I'd do some money. And like what I really wanted to talk about was career, money, self-worth, you know, honoring the dream life that you want to create, those types of things, manifesting your dream life. And I guess I was just not following, but like doing things based on what I thought everybody else was doing or like what I should be doing. And once I just started creating from the heart, channeling from the heart, right? Creating from what my soul desires and what I feel called to talk about, that's when everything changed. That's when everything started to be more fun, and that's when the channel blew up, right? So I also feel like some of you here are going to have new boundaries with this new life. Like you say no more often, firmly and lovingly for the first time, and that no becomes the portal to your next yes. So pile 4, maybe for the next new moon, you want to write a reclamation list, right? Like not what you want to fix, but what you're ready to embody, right? Like I am ready to embody the unapologetic version of myself who's not afraid to speak her truth, that kind of thing, right? So let's talk about the transition bridge. Let's talk about how to integrate. This is the now what moment, right? So what sort of habits or rituals or mindset shifts will help your evolution here? So we have the Queen of Discs. This is the Queen of Pentacles. So you are bridging this evolution by grounding your glow. The Queen of Pentacles doesn't just dream, she builds. So this is the phase of learning how to embody your magnetism in your daily life. I feel like you're going to integrate by caring for your body or your space or your systems like a queen who's tending to her queendom, right? So maybe you design your days, like instead of forcing this hustle schedule, you create a routine that supports your nervous system and your art. Like I remember when I felt this strongly. So I used to work on a team, and I remember my team member that we just are opposites. And so my team member was a bit of a tyrant, and they were like, you need to work this way, you need to hustle harder, you need to do this. And like, I'm like, bro, like we're both adults and you don't have to tell me how to work best. Like I know my nervous system best, right? But I only know that now. I'm only saying that now, but this, you know, years ago, I was just like, okay, sure. And I was miserable. And I was like, why am I a full blown adult and I don't have control over my schedule? Like, isn't that wild? So anyway, I just feel like you're going to be able to design your days in a way that helps you support your nervous system and what you're creating here. I also think that this is you treating your body as a temple, right? So I think that you're going to begin to nourish yourself, and not to punish, but to honor, right? So like food, sleep, skincare, sex, all of the sacred, right? I also feel like this is you having wealth as grounded power. Like you're going to stop apologizing for wanting abundance, right? Like for example, when I started creating readings on money and abundance and finances, at first I was like, oh my gosh, are people going to think she's too focused on money? And after a while I had to be like, this message needs to be shared. I don't care, right? The only people who your message is going to trigger are those who have those unhealed parts in them. And we all have unhealed parts in us. I've definitely seen a reading and I'm like, oh, what's that about? And I'm like, hang on, let me watch it and let me uncover some things. You are going to see money as a reflection of self-worth and stewardship instead. For those of you who are down to do a little experiment here, pile 4, try spend a week living as if you are already your future self. Okay, so I'm going to say that one more time. Try spending a week living as if you are already your future self. Right? From the way that you dress, down to the way that you eat breakfast, down to the way that you say no. Because for me, I have been practicing saying my no's, setting my boundaries. That future version of myself doesn't have time to be like, fretting over this or that. Are they going to be upset about my I don't have time for that anymore, right? And trust me, I have been that person who have worried about like putting very necessary boundaries down to be able to like survive and have my own energy sources keep going, but I would completely just overextend, overcompensate, do all these things to make other people feel comfortable and feel their well and be completely depleted. So you almost have to get to your over it moment, or like I'm over this moment, to like have that fire in you, right? To be like that Queen of Wands and be like, I'm done, you know? So anyway, spend this week living as if you are your future self, okay? Do the things that you want to do, because like for me, my future self, during my free time, I'm packing me and the kids up and my hubs, and we're going to the beach. We are. We're going to go relax. We're going to go to the park. We're going to go enjoy. We're going to go travel. We're going to go to concerts. We're going to sing, create art, make music, all sorts of things. We're going to cook. We're going to dance. Start doing the things that you love to do. Live the life that you want to live now, not tomorrow. We also have plant yourself here, integration, embodiment, and grounded action. A lot of earth sign energy here. So with this, I feel like your soul is no longer floating, pile 4. You're meant to land, and this oracle, and so this invites you to commit to something real, whether this is a project, a routine, a path, a person. And this is not about rushing, but it's more about rooting, about grounding your magic into form. So there's this energy of like, no more 1 foot out, right? Like you stop waiting for the next sign and you fully just plant your flag, right? You give your all to something that matters. This also represents your creative devotion. Like instead of bouncing between ideas, you commit to one and you go deep instead of wide, and it thrives. I also feel like this is you becoming the ritual. So maybe you stop outsourcing your magic, right? Like your mornings, your walks, your breath, they're all sacred now. That's your sacred time. So pile 4, what are you finally ready to root into? Is it peace? Is it purpose? Is it embodied confidence? Like what is it, right? Like for example, for me, I am ready to root into relaxation, ease, peace of mind, stillness. What are you ready to root into? So let's get some messages from future you. What does your next version want you to know right now? We have the Page of Discs in reverse. This is the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So your future self is saying that you're growing and you're vulnerable, and so it's important for you to guard your energy. This is not the time to be like overly open or accessible or distracted. I keep seeing you have a really big heart, pile 4, and I feel like the Page of Pentacles, when it's in reverse, the page can get discouraged or scattered. So you've got to keep your blinders on with this card is what I'm feeling. Future you is reminding you to protect that focus and to nourish your inner student, because the path that you're walking, pile 4, is very, very sacred. So for example, some of you here are going to stop sharing prematurely, right? Like I feel like some of you here are working on something, whether this is new or something that you've been working on behind the scenes for a while, and you don't need everyone's opinion about it. So let it grow in peace, right? Or maybe you're going to make a big life change by the end of the year. You don't have to overshare each and every step, right? Because you might have people coming in being like, actually do this, or what if you did? Once you've made your decision, blinders on, focus, right? Don't let rejection derail you, right? Like maybe some of you here got some feedback, or you didn't get the result that you hoped for and you're tempted to give up. Don't, okay? Because you're still learning, you're still planting. Be so protective of your new ideas. Whatever seeds that you're holding, it's tender, right? Don't expose it to the wind just yet. And maybe make this your mantra, right? Like, I protect what's precious. I protect what's precious. I protect what's precious. I honor the seed before the bloom, right? We also have ice boundary, emergency energetic boundary. This is fabulous. This is perfect for what we've just been talking about. Future you is going to thrive because you learn to say no early and often, is what I'm hearing. So pile 4, get really blunt with yourself when you're ready and ask who or what is draining you. You can write it down. If it's not safe to write it down, you can keep it in your head. But just realize that you're not being harsh. You're being holy. You can't hold space for everyone and hold your vision at the same time, right? You can't take all of the old stuff into the new place that you're going. You can't take all the old homies, all the old cousins, all the old peeps. You cannot take them from your past into your future. Can't take everybody. Not everybody's ready. So I don't know if some of you here want to stop responding to every DM or call or crisis, and then you learn to respond from overflow and not depletion, right? So it's like gatekeep your energy a bit. Don't allow access to your energy at all times. I also feel like this is you like clearing the scroll, right? Like limiting screen time or social noise or external energy, and you spend more time in your energy, right? Like disconnect to reconnect to yourself is what I'm hearing. I also think this is you saying no without guilt. Like you don't over explain anymore. No is a complete spell. No is a complete sentence. Done, period. That's it. And I feel like it would be important to think about what boundary would radically protect your peace right now, pile 4. It can be as simple as, I'm not going to pick up the person who obsessively calls me all the time. I'm not going to pick the phone up. I'm going to block them for 20 minutes so they calm down, or so I don't have to hear the phone buzzing or ringing over and over and over again. Or I'm not going to allow my parent to try and tell me how to parent my children. We're done with that, right? Like whatever it is. I'm not going to allow the person who has never walked a day in the life of my shoes, or I'm not going to allow the person who I don't want to trade lives with, or I don't want to be them. I'm not going to let them tell me how to live my life or what to do, right? What sort of boundary is going to radically protect your peace right now, pile 4? Okay, now let's get an everyday witch's familiar card for you. Find out like what spirit animal would be great for you to work with during this evolution. What spirit animal could you call upon or would be so potent to, oh, we got two. We have earth, bear, and then we have fire, wild boar. That's pretty cool. We had a lot of earth and fire energy in this reading as well. This is a new deck. I got this fabulous animal deck on vacation. I'll link it for you below. But I'm going to read from the guidebook just so we can get some clear, concise answers for you. Okay. So bear. The bear is a powerful animal that ambles along through life, minding its own business, eating, sleeping, and tending to family. They are known for their ability to hibernate during the winter, making the most out of the energy they stored up during the warmer months, and using it up as slowly as possible when the world is dark and cold. They build safe dens and hide out there until it is time to re-emerge and rejoin the world, and so they represent rest and regeneration. So this one says, this card is a not so subtle hint that it is time for you to slow down and focus on what is important for your physical survival and well-being. Is your home a safe place? Do you feel that you are getting everything you need through the days, weeks, and months ahead? If not, what can you do to change that? Message. It's time for a break. Time to pull back from the world and from too many activities or too much commotion. Sleep more if you can, or at least rest and be quiet. You need space to curl up and regenerate. The bear tells you it'll watch over you while you do. Beautiful. I love that. So I think that's a lot about what we were talking about. Get grounded, slow down, gather your resources. I feel like that could be talking about gathering your resources before making a big life change too. Like you will be divinely supported and connected and things will be stable. But like it wouldn't, I keep seeing like a chipmunk like grabbing all of their harvest or like all of their nuts and like storing it before like the winter season comes, so they have everything they need during this like incubation period. We also have wild boar. This is fire element, and it says the boar is a wild pig, much larger and more aggressive than its domesticated descendants. In some places the males can grow to be over 200 pounds, most of it pure muscle. They are fierce and competitive, and in many cultures they are associated with the warrior spirit. They symbolize righteous anger, not fury for fury's own sake, but the kind that motivates you to fight the good fight. This card may be a sign that it is time for you to channel your anger into positive action. Don't just get mad, get moving. There are many causes that are worth fighting for, no matter how much we might prefer to stay on the sidelines. You don't have to throw out a punch, but you might need to step forward and stand up for whatever it is that you believe in, whether it is for yourself or on the behalf of others. All of us feel, so the message here is all of us feel anger from time to time. Is your anger simply frustration with others, annoyance at unpleasant circumstances, or is it something worth putting your energy into? Only you can decide if your anger is righteous or not. Make sure you aren't putting it out into the world unless it is going to accomplish something worthwhile. Interesting. So what I'm getting from this too is like wherever you feel like your boundaries have been violated, pal 4, and you get angry about or whatever triggers or upsets you, use that as fuel, right? Like when I'm pissed off, sometimes I want to use that as fuel to clean my house, or I use it as fuel to go and create a reading, right? Or I use it as fuel to channel more art or creativity. This is you using that fire within you as alchemy, right? Transmuting energy, transmuting that irritation and being pissed off and upset and anger into something more miraculous than you could have ever expected. So thank you so much, friends. Please let me know what you are ready to leave behind in the comments below as you step into your next era. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so we can keep manifesting together every week here at Tidal Tarot. If you want to go deeper, check out my channel page, Tidal Tarot, for other pick-a-card readings on dream careers, money breakthroughs, and your next level self. And if you are interested in listening to my podcast, the That's Deep podcast, I share how to co-create your dream life through personal growth and spiritual wisdom. I have that linked for you below. And if you're into crystals or pretty things to support your shift, my online shop is also linked for you below. I'm sending you so much love, Tidal fam, and I will see you on the next video. Bye. Love y'all.